Dynamo do here?
So did anybody ship anything through airmail?
From the top rope, the Delaware Dynamo crashes down to earth, felling his foes. And now the crowd coming round to these three men's efforts.
Now being that they're on the opposite side of the commentary table here, so we can't really see on that side of the ring, I'm guessing by the chants from the crowd that looked quite good and quite painful.
Dynamo, side Russian leg sweep. And wait a minute, Ricky Martinez. Oh God, is that a cowbell? He just struck the Delaware Dynamo in the side of the head with a cowbell. Ricky Martinez, the Mid-Atlantic champion. Cowbell to the head of Muddy Waters.
Arrow's got a fever.
3 for 3.
And the only prescription was more cowbell.
What is Ricky Martinez doing out here? He has laid waste to our second match of the evening. Oh, and wait a minute.
Really?
Wait a minute. Is he channeling Dusty Rhodes? It's time to go Code Red inside the East Coast Wrestling Association.
As a Grand Slam champion with ECWA. And on April 5th, he will look to make his mark right here in the East Coast Wrestling Association. It's my honor and privilege to bring out at this time the Maple Leaf Machine, KO Star. Come on! Who's the man up?
ECWA, you try to ignore me? The Dragonfly Mark Haro? It's almost laughable. You invite me up to the December show, and what do? You ignore me? It's almost laughable. I perform like an extremely talented character, and you're going to ignore me? I get the only "This is awesome" chant of the night, and you're going to try to ignore me? No phone call, no email. Ricky Martinez, you hit me with a cowbell? Due to your ignorance, I'm going to let you slide, but if you ever interfere in my business again, Ricky, I'll make you wish all I did was hit you with a cowbell. Oh, that brings me to Chris Wilde. You and I, Chris, we used to call each other friends, but with friends like you, who needs enemies? You're going to stick your nose into my business? Well, Chris, you and I have went round and round before, and I've always come out the victor. Chris, you're ECWA Mid-Atlantic champion. Well, I was trained at the ECWA Wrestle Tech, and I think I'm going to take a page out of my great trainer's book. The madman Glenn Osborne used the chain. I think I just might do the same. Chris, you want to hashtag challenge the world? You want to hashtag anyone, anywhere, any place? Well, Chris, I think I just might make you eat those words. You versus me? It's almost laughable. Chris, I'm going to make you pay for sticking your nose into my business. ECWA, you ignore me? You ignore Dragonfly Mark Haro? I'll show you what happens when people ignore me. Ready, Chris Wilde. You did say any place, anytime.
What are you doing?
Stay out of my business.
I'm calling the police. I am.
Challenge that, Chris Wilde.
No.
It was a night where James J. Dillon made his final ringside appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, witness history as the longest-running ECWA Mid-Atlantic champion Ricky the Model Martinez defends his championship against challenger Heartkiller Chris Wilde. If Wilde loses the match, he will no longer wrestle for the ECWA. Now available on ECWA home video at www.pridesproductions.com or on demand at www.vimeo.com/POD Productions. The next ECWA live event is Spring Battle 3, Saturday night, March 1st, at the Greater Newark Boys and Girls Club in Newark, Delaware. Tickets available January 25th. Call 609-220-5598.
Google is the single greatest creation in the last 10 to 15 years. You can basically find out anything by the click of a button about anybody, about any place. I mean, take ECWA for example. The fans that left our show on January 25th, if this were 10 to 15 years ago, would have went home, searched their PWI magazines, their wrestling almanacs, called friends, and asked them who Mark Harrow was. Who was this guy that jumped the barricade at the January 25th show, interrupting a Super 8 announcement, claiming that he had been disrespected by the fans of the ECWA, the management of ECWA, and by the heart killer Chris Wilde. Fast forward to modern day. Because of Google, you can put Mark Harrow's name in the search engine, and you can find out all about him. You can find out that he was trained by the madman Glenn Osborne. You can find out that he was trained at ECWA's WrestleTech. Search a little deeper. You can find out that he trained in Mexico. A little deeper than that, you can find out that he actually sacrificed a couple years of his career to serve in the United States Air Force. But what you can't find about Mark Harrow on Google, as a matter of fact, what I couldn't find about Mark Harrow on Google is where it all went wrong. Where he lost his mind. You see, about a week ago, I was on my way to the gym, and in the parking lot, I heard screeching of tires, and next thing I know, I'm on the ground being beaten half to death by this new madman, Mark Harrow, with a chain wrapped around his fist. And all I can think about is where it went wrong, because this isn't the guy that I trained with. This isn't the guy that I went to after being announced for Super 8s in 2010 and last year. This isn't the same guy that I watched teach a lot of young guys in this business. See, something is wrong with the madman Mark Harrow. And Mark, I've been through it all in ECWA. I mean, I've been in War Games matches, submission matches. I've went toe-to-toe with some of the best. You see, this Chris Wilde isn't the Chris Wilde that you knew back in the day. No, no, no. See, I've been through it. But you know, the thing is, the men that I was in the ring with, you see, no matter how much I hated them or they hated me, and you can ask them, because they did hate me. You see, they went toe-to-toe, one-on-one, face-to-face in the ring with me. They didn't have to come get me in a parking lot. And I'll give you your props, Mark. You've done the one thing that those men, actually you've done the one thing that no man or woman in ECWA has ever been able to do to me. And that's bring me to my knees. Because I'm on my knees now. And I'm begging the ECWA management. I'm begging Joe Zanol, Mike Tartaglia, all the rest of the guys in the office to give you what you want. And you know, Joe, I know what you're thinking watching this. You're thinking, if I give Mark Harrow a shot at you, if I give Mark Harrow a shot at the ECWA Mid-Atlantic Championship, then who knows what next nutcase is going to come from the crowd. Giving Mark Harrow a shot is going to be like stepping on tradition, because ECWA has always been one of the hardest places to work in this industry. And I understand that. But to me, this is personal. I mean, you look around here. This isn't at a school. This isn't at a gym. This is at my home. This is at my office. That's how personal this is for me. I'm standing in a place where I raise my kids. Where I have a family. Because that's where Mark brought it. ECWA management, give me Mark Harrow one-on-one in a match under those bright lights at the ECWA arena. You know, I could go to his house. I could meet him at a restaurant. I could beat him up anywhere I wanted to right now. I mean, I know exactly where he is at this time. But I don't want that. See, I'm not a thug. I don't need to go around with chains beating people up. I don't want a street fight against Mark Harrow. What I want is to have him in the ring and to humble him in front of the ECWA faithful that he ran down. I want to do what I do best, and that's wrestle under those bright lights. Mark Haro, you might fight, but I fly. ECWA management, this is the only way to protect the fans of the ECWA, because once I humble Mark Haro in the ring, once I give him just a taste of what he wants, they don't call me the Heart Killer for nothing. Mark has his heart set on those bright lights, and Mark, if these dreams and these delusions you have are so important, then imagine how it's going to feel when I kick your heart out of your chest. You know, a lot of people probably watched the opening of this video and said, why is Chris Wilde bringing up Google? He was just beaten up in a parking lot. He's like got a guy threatening his manhood. Well, the reason is just like I said, Mark, somewhere something went wrong in your head that you can't find in any search engine. But you can also, what you can't find when you type in the Heart Killer Chris Wilde in Google, in any tablet, any computer, you can find pictures, you can find matches, you can find YouTube videos of me, but what you can't find is what you would see in that ring. The passion, the fire in my eyes. My heart bleeds for the ECWA. My heart bleeds for this wrestling business. I've sacrificed everything, and I'm not going to let someone like you step on it. The fans want the match. I want the match. One-on-one, I want to see you come out of that curtain. I want you to get that taste, Mark, because I'm going to end it for you. And you know, you might talk like Mike Tyson, but come March 1st, at the ECWA Arena, if management gives me what I want, and I've given them everything, you might be talking like Mike, but I'm going to be the one punching you out.
All right, fans, well, you heard it. Mark Haro's put down the challenge. Chris Wilde, he's going to accept because that's the type of man he is. We find out March 1st if the Dragonfly can fly so high as to overcome a heart killer, or if he'll have his heart smack down, his dreams put down in the dust. Hey, by the way, I'm John Germain Esquire, and if you didn't figure out by now, you've been watching ECWA Code Red. But don't go anywhere. We've got a commercial break. On the other side, we're going to talk about Breaker Morant and Apollyon and the issues they've been having with the Asian nation. So stay tuned. We've gone Code Red.
I've always had an affection for blues music and rock and roll, things like that. I got into motorcycles and a lot of the hot rod racing culture at an early age, and tattoos kind of went along with it. I had always had a great interest in becoming a tattoo artist since I got my first tattoo. Honestly, I like the people. I actually learn more about myself through the people that I work with, and sometimes I think I'm actually getting the better end of the deal. They're getting nice tattoo work, but I'm getting a lot of insight into people in general and humanity. What we do is to try and make people feel relaxed. We do that with a lot of things in the shop, from the colors selected, but also the lighting. The music is not overly loud and blaring, so it's a place where somebody can come in and feel comfortable. I do a lot of research and study into cross-contamination, bloodborne pathogens, diseases, how diseases are transmitted. I started breaking the elements in my shop down into what they call common safety zones, as well as biohazard areas, to further reduce the risk of cross-contamination and making tattooing a little safer process. I have a great deal of concern for my clients and their health and safety and well-being, as well as the people that work in the shop with me.
And welcome back once again to ECWA Code Red. I'm your host, John Germain Esquire. Well, as promised, let's talk about Breaker Morant and Apollyon. No, they're not on a dating show, but they are having relationship troubles in the form of Kai Katana and Bolo Young, collectively known as the Asian Nation. Let's go back to December. You may recall, during the tag team triple threat title match, ooh, that's a mouthful of words, that they were jumped and left in a heap of their own misery.
Oh, they're lined up. 3-point stance.
They've got it squared up.
And there it is. Spear.
Cover. 1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, 16 minutes, 11 seconds, your winners, and still ECWA Tag Team body snatcher and black ice, D-Line.
In a weird way, give the assist to the Legion of Destruction. They took Apollyon out the first time. Then the stereo spears by the champs take out the Legion of Destruction. And it gives them the opening to pin Apollyon. Breaker Morant just a moment too far away, unable to break the count. The champs retain. I'll tell you, D-Line has survived some pretty fierce challenges in their time here in the ECWA atop the heap as tag team champs.
Well, as tag team champs, defending against either one of these teams individually and defeating them is a feat in itself. But both of them at the same time, that's really something to behold, and really something, you know, you can hang your hat, you can, you know, I'm at a loss for words and phrases here on how amazing this is that D-Line was able to conquer not one but two huge, powerful tag teams.
Well, they retain the belts tonight. We'll have to see who's next in line to challenge, but they have survived the Legion of Destruction. They have survived Apollyon and Breaker Morant. Speaking of Apollyon and Breaker, they're the lone team up. Hey, wait a minute!
Wait a minute,
That's
that's
Polo
the
Young
Asian
and
Nation.
Kakatana. You're absolutely right, the Asian Nation.
With, I guess, another Pearl Harbor attack here.
And the nunchucks with Polo Young. And now, Kai Katana to the high rent district.
Singling out Apollyon here.
Big splash on the felled beast. Might this be a message to D-Line and the rest of the tag team division? They won earlier tonight, and then they come out and clean up like buzzards, like vultures.
And twice tonight now, attacking their opponents, not even their opponents this time, but attacking from behind. I mean, it's really, is that just what, I mean, it sounds terrible, but is that what Asians do? Is that how they attack? I mean, the Japanese did it 72 years ago, and the Asian nation did it twice tonight.
Well, regardless of the answer to your question, clearly, Polo Young and Kai Katana have come strong tonight. They are making it clear that they will be heard. They will be recognized here in the ECWA as legitimate contenders for those tag team belts. Can he put away Young here? Ducks the right hand. Wanted to get him up for a rack. Spinning heel kick missed by Young. And he's dropped face first with the pancake, the flapjack. Get some syrup out there. And wait a minute, Bogo Young, you think he's got those nunchucks. John Finnegan trying to get in and prevent their use. Morant gets Young up. And, oh, nunchucks to the face. And John Finnegan's got no choice but to call for the bell. And that's going to be a DQ of Bolo Young. Well, while he might leave as the winner, can't believe that Breaker Morant feels like a winner after having those nunchucks, which, by the way, are steel. I've held them. They're not wood, they're metal. Driven right into his face.
Bolo Young, listen, son. This DQ, you better take it and run. Because tonight, you lit a fire under Breaker Morant that you're not going to be able to put out. Come March 1st, you better get your little partner, Kai Katana. Because my partner, oh, he's making his comeback. The big man Apollyon will be back. And he will be by my side. And you can bet your ass that it's going to be a night you'll never forget. Because Saturday, March 1st, it's Apollyon and Breaker's time. And you two will go down. You better believe it.
It was a night where James J. Dillon made his final ringside appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, witness history as the longest-running ECWA Mid-Atlantic champion Ricky the Model Martinez defends his championship against challenger Heartkiller Chris Wilde. If Wilde loses the match, he will no longer wrestle for the ECWA. Now available on ECWA home video at www.pridesproductions.com or on demand at www.vimeo.com/POD Productions. The next ECWA live event is Spring Battle 3, Saturday night, March 1st, at the Greater Newark Boys and Girls Club in Newark, Delaware. Tickets available January 25th. Call 609-220-5598.
And welcome back as we close up another episode of ECWA Code Red. I'm John Germain Esquire. Well, as you've heard, we've heard from Chris Wilde. He's had a lot on his mind, past, present, future. And we've also heard from his challenger on March 1st, a man from his past and present, Mark Harrow. They will square off at Spring Battle 3. You can get your tickets now. Go to the ECWA website for more information. We've also looked at the simmering rivalry that will come to a head on that night between Breaker Morant and Apollyon and the Asian Nation. You will not want to miss that match. And hey, speaking of matches you won't want to miss, you have to come back here next week to Code Red. We're going to have an exclusive announcement, an enormous match that has been made for March 1st, and you're only going to learn about it right here on ECWA Code Red. So y'all come back now, you hear? I'm John Germain Esquire for everybody at POD Productions and the East Coast Wrestling Association. We will see you next time because we checked the page views on ECWA Code Red. Take care.
ECWA. Become a fan all over again.